for the main course. You feast on this.
Good morning, folks. I have been struggling with major equipment issues. I think I've got them resolved. Pay very close attention. This is Scooby Doo. These things that look like large turkeys on the wall, which look the same as labia on the walls, have a prehensile mouth coming out of it. And let me just show you that. That's the same thing we see in some movies like Alien. So there you go. We'll take a look at that. Just take a good look at this right here. What is this supposed to be, a turkey on the wall? Is that supposed to be a turkey on the wall? That's what that is? Well, let me expand on this. I told you part 5 was coming. This is part 5. You are the exiles. The forbidden fruit was forbidden for a reason, because it led to imminent death for everybody. And there's two energies. There's male and female energy. Just like in electricity, you have a male adapter and a female adapter, and the male adapter goes into the female adapter, and the female adapter receives the current. It's no different. Just pay attention. Okay, here we go. So this is Scooby-Doo, and this is a turkey on the wall. That's funny. It looks like a vagina, and these look like sausages. Like, what do you think the inferred representation here is? Do you think it's really a turkey? You think it's really a turkey and a bunch of hot dogs on the wall, or do you think there's an inferred meaning here? Well, let me show you just how inferred it really is.
When they hatch, the babies, called larvae or nymphs, spend months or years underwater. Their wings are still growing, so they aren't any help in scoring a meal, like this tasty mosquito larva. It's a larva-eat-larva world down here. Did you see that? Let's slow it down. The nymph has a killer lip called a labium. Remind you of this creepy thing? For this skimmer nymph, it's shaped like a spork. Only dragonfly and damselfly nymphs have this special lip. This kind of dragonfly nymph, a darner, has an extra surprise. There's a pair of pincers right at the end.
So let me just share with you very quickly what the Lord's been sharing with me. All the images and all the things that the enemy likes to use to make altars or to mock us have a common denominator. You know what that common denominator is? Well, when you look at the altar, what is it? It's a big bug. It's a penis and a vagina, the altar of St. Peter. And I'll bring that up in just a minute. Most of y'all should know what I'm talking about when I talk about the altar of St. Peter. It's a dead sheep. We've seen that common denominator. It's a large bug with its mandibles. Let's take a look at that real quick. Take a look at these mandibles. Now, this is called a labium, and this is a dragonfly larva. And this thing extends, and when it does, it captures its prey. Let me show you a very quick image here. There's the altar of St. Peter's right there. There it is. It's a bug, antennas, and there are the mandibles. And the what is the chair on the altar of St. Peter is a penis, and it's going right into the mandibles. Well, let's see. Here's the common denominator again. So here's a young lady that's got a tattoo right above her vagina, And let's just slide it over. My goodness, it's the same exact thing, isn't it? Look at that. It's identical. There it is. Huh. Here's here's Scooby Doo right here, and that is this prehensile mouth and teeth coming out of what looks like female labia. And here is the dragonfly nymph right here. So there's a dragonfly nymph. It's really absolutely no different than either one of these. And the reason that the enemy tattoos these things on their bodies is because, ever hear art mimics life or life mimics art, whatever the case may be? Well, because they use tattoos and they use symbology that is indicative of their process. For example, they have a below ground race that is waiting to hatch, and there's an above ground system, part of the system, that must take place first. So, just like a dragonfly, it lays the eggs above ground. And then the nymphs develop underwater. Cicadas, they lay eggs above ground, then they develop underground. And then same as mayflies, they develop underwater and then they come up and get their wings. Dragonflies develop underwater, come up and get their wings. Cicadas develop underground, come up and get their wings. Come up with their wings, I should say. And then and same as locusts. Like locusts in the pit, Revelation 9:11. Yeah, this is going to blow your mind. Y'all are going to freak out. Just watch. Just watch. Okay, so there's no doubt that this girl has a tattoo right there of the same thing that's the largest altar in the world. And the largest altar in the world has a penis going in the mouth of a bug's mandibles. So if your penis was to go into this young lady, your penis would be going into the same exact thing, wouldn't it? Wasn't that fascinating? Well, now let's take a look at the dragonfly. Here we go. The dragonfly is identical to Scooby Doo. And these look like labia, and it looks like this prehensile mandibles coming right out of the labia, doesn't it? Well, that's the same exact thing as the Alien movies, right? Let's take a look at something from the Alien movies that's just rather uncanny. And I'll let y'all just decide what do you think it is you're looking at right there. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's from the Alien movies. Um, Life imitating science fiction, huh? Because where do they come up with these ideas? They're all rooted in some kind of truth. Now let me continue and let's go back here. Now let me just go through a very simple scientific drawing of the female anatomy. Most people, you have outer labia right here, and you have the inner labia right here. Okay? That's just female anatomy. There you go. Let's talk about the nymph. Yeah, does everybody know what a nymph is? Does everybody know what a nymph is? Let's look at the definition of a nymph. Okay, hang on one second. It looks like my let's see if it's gonna expand and give me my definition. Or there it is. There we go. A nymph. Now let's look at this definition right here. An immature form of an insect that does not change greatly as it grows, e.g., a dragonfly, mayfly, locust, cicada. All of the above are nymphs. Here's another definition for a nymph: a mythological spirit of nature imagined as a beautiful maiden, inhabiting rivers, woods, or other locations. Synonyms: nymph, sylph, sprite. Okay, so it is an immature form of an insect, and it's also a beautiful maiden. a spiritual, beautiful maiden. Okay, remember the immature form of an insect because that's going to be super important here. And we're just going to go and we're just going to look at one of these folders that, um, and I want to show you, I want to go right from this image right here from the female anatomy to a nymph anatomy. The mouth of a nymph has a very interesting name. That that mandibles, that prehensile extendable jaw, you know what that's called? It's called a labium. A labium. This so the prehensile extendable jaw that reaches out and grabs its victim is called a labium. You know, like the female anatomy is called a labia. And isn't that fascinating that this girl right here on her labia, right above her labia, she has the identical thing as the largest altar in the world, and she has the same exact thing as a dragonfly nymph. Well, you know what's really interesting is, you know, just if we can just talk frankly, I've dated girls that were hypersexual. I've dated girls that were less than hypersexual. Let's just be honest. Most guys, a hypersexual girl is like, yay. Just be honest. There's a word for that. There's a name for that. It's called nymphomaniac. Just like you have a nymph right here, nymphomaniac is a woman who has abnormally excessive and uncontrollable sexual desire. Nymphomaniac. So, what do you think the odds are that the word for a female nymphomaniac, a woman that has an uncontrollable sexual desire, and also female reproductive system have labia, that they just happen to be called the same thing as a nymph, a undeveloped form of an insect? That's a nymph right there. That's a dragonfly nymph right there. So, what do you think the odds are that a female that has an overactive sexual, desire going on, uncontrollable sexual desire, is called a nymphomaniac, and this is called a nymph right here. And isn't it odd that those pinchers right there are called the labium? Labium. Isn't it odd that the largest altar in the world, you have an altar of the same exact thing, a large bug with mandibles, and when we look at this altar, the sorry guys, one sec. When we look at this altar right here, the penis going in the mandibles, this is all superimposed over the face of the big dead sheep, which y'all are going to see in a minute. We're going to revisit this, but just for this part of the presentation, I want to show you. This is the same as this. Labia, mandibles, labia, mandibles. On this entire altar is a vagina and a penis, labia, mandibles, labia, mandibles. I mean, does anyone really think that that could be a coincidence? Or is it because you're in their world that it imitates, art imitates life? Let me show you this. Let's go ahead and read this real quick. Let's see if this will reload. Okay. Here you go. So there we go. Nymph labium attack. There you go. It's a long hinged arm that they keep folded under their head, and it's eerily similar to a snapping tongue-like protuberance the monster shoots out the alien sci-fi movies. Oh, yeah. So shoots out in the alien sci-fi movies. Notes Gabriela Quiros of KQED Science. A nymph's eyesight is almost as precise as an adult dragonfly's, and when they spot something they want to eat, they extrude this mouth part called labium. See, I'm not making this up. To engulf, grab, or impale their next meal and draw it back into their mouth. Only dragonfly and damselfly nymphs have this special mouth part. There you go. And so I was noticing, and we're going to go over this now. We're going to go over this in the upcoming video. I'm going to do a short video today to give you this data. This is going to be part 5 preview because I want to make sure all the equipment's working. I'm going to give this to you, and then I'm going to do part 5 where you're overloaded with so much of this data, you're probably going to have an anxiety attack 2 or 3 or 4. But we have a safety net. It's Jesus. Jesus came to save us from the system that we were carried away to. We were carried away as exiles. We got cast out. We made obviously a terrible decision. We were part of an insurrection. And so we got what we wanted. He gave everybody what they wanted. And the forbidden fruit is forbidden for a reason now, isn't it? You know what the forbidden fruit is now, don't you? Yeah, it's pretty obvious, isn't it? The Bible says in Genesis 3, neither shall you touch it, lest you die. Let me just show that to you. I want to show it to you. A lot of people, by the way, this is a whole different computer I'm using. I am having such crazy problems with computers that I'm having to switch up just to get a video done. But let me show you something here, and I don't have this one all marked up like I do my other Genesis 3 a little bit. Okay, but the tree of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God said, you shall not eat of it, neither shall you touch it. Look at this. To lie with a woman. There you go. In yellow, to lie with a woman. Neither shall, it means to touch for any reason, lay your hand upon, or to lie with a woman. Neither shall you touch it, lest ye die. Now let's take a look at all this. Now, let me just show you a few more images here. Okay, here's a girl with angel wings, but look what's coming out. Dragonfly wings. And dragonfly tattoos are very common amongst girls because it's an outward manifestation of the in-between stage, because the female host body was used to trap God's angels into a system. And then below ground, there's another race of beings that are hatching called locusts, Revelation 9. We're going to pull that up. You know what? Let's pull it up right now so there's no confusion. So below ground, there's a race of locusts that are going to hatch and come out of the pit. And that's what I'm supposed to warn everybody about. That's what's coming. It's even in my artwork from before I got saved. I actually carved it in my artwork before I got saved. So here we go. So here we go. And the fifth angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven and unto the earth. And look, and to him, the star is a him. It's not a big burning star. It's an angel. To him was given the key to the bottomless pit. He opened the bottomless pit. There arose smoke out of the pit as the smoke of a great furnace. And the sun and the air were darkened by reason of the smoke of the pit. You know, like when Jose showed up here to move the container. And he said, Jonathan, the whole sky turned black. And there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth. And to them was given power. The power as the scorpions of the earth have power right there. Okay, so these locusts are like scorpions. Okay, well, they're producing underground, but there's a nymph stage that's above ground. Do you get it? There's another stage that gets the souls, and the souls that die go to the pit unless you get converted. And I always do that when I say converted, because there's a right side up you and there's an upside down you. You're in opposition to yourself. So when you get turned right side up and there's two right side ups, then you're converted. Because if you're not, there's an upside down and a right side up. That's their system, male and female energy. You got to convert the one and be made whole. It's so obvious now. Even on an energy level in any magnetic system, it's so obvious. Okay, so here we go. So now there's an underground race, and they're locusts, and they come out of the bottomless pit, and they have the tails of scorpions. Well, let me show you something really amazing. Let me see. right here. Okay, so here's this girl. Look, she's got angel wings, and then she's got butterfly wings, and she's got dragonfly wings. See? And this is very common. Girl tattoos, they're dragonflies. They're they do a lot of dragonflies. I mean, the strangest thing in the world is that there's a lot of girls that do cicadas. That what a freaky big bug to put on your body if you're an attractive female, a cicada. And the reason is because it mimics the system. Do you understand? Cicadas develop below ground and then they come out and they have their wings. Just like the race of locusts that are in the pit. They're developing below ground, then they come out and they have their wings. Just like locusts, they develop below ground, come out and have their wings. Just like dragonfly larvae, they develop underwater and then they come out with their wings. That's why they use those particular bugs on altars, tattoos, and the like. Now watch this. Okay, so here's a young lady, and she's got like the system on her back. See the five-pointed star? It's the conversion of an angel, because in the Bible, stars. You know what? Let me show you the word star real quick. I'll go to Daniel 12. I'll go to Daniel 12 to give you an example. Daniel 12. Oh, you know what? Let's do Isaiah 14, because this is where Lucifer says he will arise above the throne of the Most High. Okay, so here we go. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? Here it is. I will exalt my throne above, look, the stars of God. This is not Elohim. Let me show you what the word stars is. Look, as round or shining a prince. So I will exalt my throne above the princes of, look, this is not Elohim. It's Hebrew word 410. I'm going to highlight that. You know what? I'm going to highlight it all a different color. Make it very obvious. There we go. Thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the princes of, look at this, El. Hebrew word 410. I'm going to do all this the same color as that, so it's easy to identify. There it is. Okay. It means mighty, almighty, the almighty God. Hebrew word 410. It is not the word Elohim as in Genesis 1, 26. Elohim said, let us create man in our vain show. So there it is. The word stars, again, is a prince, and the word God right here is El. Right here. El. It's totally different. Okay, now let's go back. Okay, so here's this girl. She's got a star representing one of God's princes, and then it's got the transmutation into this, and this dragonfly coming out of the vortex. See the spiral, like the star got put into the system, and out came the pretty dragonfly, which represents the locust coming out of the pit. Here's another girl tattoo. It's a dragonfly. Look at this. This is very telling. Okay, so look at that. It's a dragon. See the dragon's head? It's got wings like a dragonfly. And look at the tail, like a scorpion. Oh my goodness. Okay, there you go. Okay, so now, pardon me, guys. Now I'm going to drop a mega bomb on you. Okay, I told you the Lord took me to Houston again to This Is It. He also took me to Christie's. Christie's means follower of Christ. Okay, he's letting me know. This is how the Lord communicates his messages to me. I literally live them out. Just like my skydiving. I'm falling out of the sky. Oh, like one of God's princes, upside down. Just like one of God's princes. How art, thou fallen? Oh, we all fell, and we all got caught in a snare, which is a trap that turns you upside down, which is the flesh. So he had me live out a life that was a representation of the truth of the Bible. My name, Jonathan, means Yahweh is given. Kleck means a messenger that rings the bell and gathers the church. That's what Jonathan Kleck translates as. So everything about my life was an outward expression of the paradigm that I would later solve when I turned 40. By the way, I got saved when I turned 40. 40 is the number of regeneration, rebirth. 40 days and 40 nights it rained. Jesus 40 days in the desert fasting. Moses 40 years on the backside of the desert in Midian. It's a very biblical number for regeneration and rebirth. I got saved when I was 40. Okay, now let me show you something. Let's go through some pictures now. And okay, now this is out of the Vatican. This is under the list of popes. And let me just be very clear about what you're looking at. There it is with no Jonathan has not started his exercising his spiritual gift on this yet. But I can see exactly what it is. It's two twins. Here's a twin. Here's the umbilical cord right there. There's a twin. Here's the umbilical cord right there. Um, there's a this part of the bronze right here that wasn't colored black is a tongue coming out of the mouth. You turn it upside down. There's a mandible right there. There's a mandible right there. These are claws going the opposite direction. They're horns going this direction. Here's the beast. There's the eye. There's the eye. There's the nose. There's the fang. There's the open mouth. And I can see it quite clearly. And then these are the wings of a locust when you turn it upside down. So I'm going to quote Isaiah now. Those who try and hide their plans from the Lord are doomed. They carry out their schemes in secret. What are their schemes? Trapping God's angels in a host body system. They carry out their schemes in secret and think no one will see them or know what they are doing. They turn everything upside down. So in order to see the truth, you got to turn everything upside down just to see it. That's why Jesus said in John chapter 9, I've come to judge the world and to give sight to the blind and to show those who think they see that they are blind. And the arrogant, pompous Jews said, are you saying that we're blind? Are we blind also? The Pharisees. And Jesus said, if you were really blind, you wouldn't be guilty. Like blind, like you couldn't see it all. But your guilt remains because you claim you can see. I'm going to bear witness to that blindness right now. Okay, so here's Marilyn Manson, by the way, and he's sticking his tongue out. And it's no different than the guy right here in the picture because his tongue's coming out right here. And what I'll do is I'll go through this one at a time. So I'm going to enlarge this because I've drawn in all those little changes of shadow. I drew in the largest lines that the artist cut with probably a linoleum cut in order to cast this. So anyway, so here's a guy, and here's an umbilical cord going to one fetus. There's the fetus. Here's the umbilical cord. Let me just get rid of that view in full size. Here's the umbilical cord going to the other fetus. And so this guy's mind is controlled by twins, the twin system, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Okay, and so that part right there, right here, that's the tongue sticking out because that's your condition. That's you. Just picture that is you. And now this is the nymph stage that we're all in. But when you die and your soul goes to the pit, then you become, well, you know what? Before I send this guy to the pit, let me show you what this system is. So this is the system. That's you. It represents you with your tongue sticking out. And then you're in what's called the beast system. There's the beast right underneath, the slave collar. There's the eye, the nose, the fang, and the open mouth. So you are the beast. That's why the Jaguar commercial, that if y'all have seen the Jaguar commercial on my channel with Tom Hiddleston, he said, we've already created a beast. Now it's time for a whole new animal using the same potent DNA, but more ruthlessly efficient because they're getting ready to unleash that thing on the whole population. So the human condition is going to turn to a total monster. Just imagine when New York gets nuked and all natural resources dry up, it's going to be kill or be killed. People that would seemingly almost be, good people, once you change the rules of the game, everyone changes with the rules, okay? That's the way it's going to be. People are going to kill to get food for their own kids. It's going to be the law of survival. And see, that's the thing about us Christians. We don't care about surviving. We know we don't belong here. We know it's time to go home to heaven. We got trapped in the system here. So that's why we don't care about the system anymore. That's why we don't love the earth. The Bible says if you love the earth or the things of the world, you don't have the love of God in you. Now that all makes sense, right? Okay, so here we go. So that's your condition right here. Let me do this. There you go. Sorry, guys. This is you right here. You're in a slave collar. You're trapped in a human host body, and you've been turned into the devil. And then here is the slave collar. That's the beast. That's you. Okay? But when you turn this upside down after you die, so this is the nymph stage of every human being, you turn it upside down and then it becomes a locust coming out of the pit. And it's just so redundantly obvious at this point. There you go. Okay, so there's the locust coming out of the pit. See it? So there you go. There's the eye of the locust. Eye. It's mandible, claws, and then what was the wavy hair of the guy that was right side up? The wavy hair becomes all the wind washing under these yellow wings. See, these wings are like dragonfly wings. See them? Those are wings, folks, and this thing's coming out of the pit. So this guy got turned into this. The nymph stage got turned into the flying stage. Now, why do you think a dragonfly's prehensile mouth is called labium? Well, for the same reason that the largest altar in the world has labia on it. I mean, it's just a no-brainer at this point, right? Let me show you a folder that's really good at showing you that. If you go to the This Is It folders, I'm going to just show you how to get there. You go to the This Is It link. You click on this. By the way, it's on, you can type it into Google. This is it, 4321. Welcome to the world of good and evil. You click on these green ones. It'll take you to all these folders right here. And then I'm going to scroll down here till we get to this one right here. Let's see, there it is. Daniel, right there. Daniel 12. Time of the female rival, right here. Now, remember we were just looking at the Bible. Let me show you Daniel 12 real quick. Okay, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people. There shall be a time of trouble. You see right here, look at the word trouble. What does it say? A female rival, affliction, tribulation. Because the time of the female rival, the time of the tribulation is the time of the female rival. And that female rival, haven't you noticed, like this female, the Me Too movement, you're supposed to believe Miss Ford just because she said Judge Kavanaugh assaulted her. She's a liar. I'm sorry, but she's a liar. Everything proved her to be a liar. But see, you're supposed to just believe the female now because it's the time of the female rival, the Great Tribulation, and the female energy has taken over the system. Why do you think Barack Obama is with Michael Obama? He's got a penis and boobs because it's a representation of Baphomet. That's why. You understand? This is just getting to be blatantly obvious. So here we go. There shall be a time of trouble ever since there was, look, a nation, a foreign nation, a flight of locusts. Did y'all know the word nation was a flight of locusts? Most people don't. Okay. So anyway, so let's go look at now. This is a perfect representation right here of what we were dealing with. There you go. See this girl smiling and she's got a demon mouth painted on the back of her hand and there's a hive because she is the part that gets this hive done. Without the female, there would be no hive done. The pit would not be producing their race of locusts without this. Okay, that's why the largest altar in the world is a dead sheep, and it's a penis and a female vagina. Here we go. Let's just look at those real quick one time. Let's see. There we go. So again, there's all God's angels that trespassed, and angels when they sinned were cast into chains of darkness. There they are. They're being cast into the chains of darkness, which are human flesh. This is a penis. This is ejaculating a seed. The seed right there, that's the crown. That's crowning Satan's kingdom. All this is flowing. This is semen flowing down the side of a penis. And this is the opening to a female vagina. All you have to do is turn it upside down. And there it is. And here's the female reproductive system ovary. Here, I'll just do it upside down real quick. Here we go. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll take the sheep right here. We'll take this sheep and we'll turn him upside down. This is from above. And I got this image so you could see clearly that this carving represents liquid flowing down the side of the penis, and you can see the opening to the penis right there in white shooting the seed out. The Lord actually told me, Jonathan, find an image from above, and I did. So you can see all the all the semen flowing down the side of the penis. There it is. And then let's see. Then we'll take the sheep and we'll put it over here and we'll turn it upside down. And that's the female reproductive system. So I'll just match it up. I'll take the female reproductive system right here, and here's the altar upside down, and I'll just put it right on top. There it is. So there you go. You're looking exactly at the system that we're caught in, and the stage that we're in is a nymph stage, because the human host body is a stage that's before the locust. So if you die and you don't get converted, your soul goes to the pit and you become food for that race, and then you're converted into that race, and that race comes out of the ground. Comes out of when I say ground, the bottomless pit. Yep. And that's the system. That's why they made their altar a big bug. There it is. See? See the big bug? Eye, antenna, top of the head, mandibles, penis. That throne, watch this. This throne right here, that's the penis, is going right in the mouth of the bug, because that bug harvests semen. That's why this image shows all the semen rolling down, because that is this right here. Right there. That's it. That light coming through is this light right here. So there it is. No doubt about it. Okay, so there's a system, and don't forget, this altar right here, this window right here, on the outside of the building is the mouth of the serpent right here. So that's really important. That window right there is this sheep right there. So what's the serpent eat? God's angels. I will arise above the stars of God, because he's munching them down. Just eating all the stars of God, because they got converted into a host body system. It's just a no-brainer. Okay, now let's go back to this. Okay, so the reason Marilyn Manson has his tongue out, hang on. Pardon me, guys. The reason Marilyn Manson has his tongue out right here is because just like this altar right here, the tongue of the sheep is coming out. I'll take this and there you go. Marilyn Manson is manifesting the same thing as the altar. Same thing. There's a sheep with its tongue out right above, right up there, right above me. And there's Marilyn Manson manifesting. So Marilyn Manson, it's taken, completely taken. So that's what's up with poor Marilyn Manson. God have mercy on him. Okay, now let's go through. Okay, so we've clearly established, that the female reproductive system is nothing more than a way for a race of insects to get their food. Let's see. I want to make sure I don't miss anything. Here's the wall. Here's the wall in the Scooby-Doo movie. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I have a bunch of turkeys pinned to the wall. And doesn't this look like, this is the same shape as the image of the Virgin, and it's very phallic as well. I mean, this is all just complete phallic on the wall there. Penises and vaginas in Scooby-Doo. There you go. And let's listen to what they say on that Scooby-Doo thing. Let's see if I can do this. Let me pause this.
Now for the main course. You!
So they say, and now for the main course, you. Yes. So what you're watching at the movies that's entertaining you, they're entertaining you while they're killing you. And it's as horrifying as the Alien movie from, you know, like the ones with Sigourney Weaver. It's all the same. It's literally the same thing. So let's go back to our album covers. Now, let me just show you. Look, now the Lord sent me to Houston again to This Is It. This is so. What did He mean by sending me to a place called This Is It? This is it. This is the end of the world. This is Revelation. This is the destruction of the earth. These are all the trumpet and bowl judgments coming. This is the locust coming out of the pit. This is everything He showed me. This is it. Okay, that's why He took me to This Is It. That container I'm doing outside is a way of Him letting me know this is it. This is over. This is what's going to happen. It's a way of manifesting in the physical world what He wants to show me from the spiritual world. And that's what He does in my life. My whole life is a testimony to it. All you have to do is look back. Did y'all see the old container videos? Did you see them? How many miracles were in those videos? Miracle after miracle after miracle after miracle after miracle. And that container ended up at the corner of Rainbow and Casimir. Proclamation of peace. That's probably just a coincidence. Yeah. Okay. So when He took me to Houston, before we went to This Is It, I went downstairs into the Galleria from our hotel, and there's this really expensive dress shop. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's a bug, folks. That's the eye. That's the eye. And there's the mandibles. So, the mandibles on this bug, let's just be honest, So what, this girl's crotch is right about here again? Isn't that a convenient place for the mandibles of that bug? Again, same thing. So what I did is I just added some straps to that bug just for kicks and grins, just to show you how obvious this is. Now, if that dress had straps, people would be able to figure out that's the face of a bug very easily. See, there's the eye, there's the mandibles. Yeah, those would be antenna, right? So there you go. Look how ridiculously obvious that was. So why does some super expensive dress have a bug face on it? Because it's true. It's a nymph. The host body system is a nymph system. Okay, let me show you the clothing lines that have come out. Okay, this is Broken Promises. And look how one's right side up and one's upside down and backwards. See? The enemy turns everything upside down and backwards. There you go. See, look, Broken Promises. Because Lucifer promised a bunch of God's angels they could have sex and have host bodies and they would never die. It was a lie. It was a way to get their energy and convert them into his group. Okay, now let me show you some more Broken Promises t-shirt. Broken Promises. Oh, it's a scorpion. Oh, it's checkerboard. Why? Just like us, we're checkerboard. We're black and white. We're light and dark, good and evil. And what's in the pit? A race of locusts with tails like scorpions. That's why there's a scorpion on it. That's why the scorpion's black and white and says Broken Promises. Okay, so listen up. Wait till you see this next clothing line that just came out. Hang on. Pardon me, folks. Wait till you see this next clothing line that just came out. It's going to be right after the Broken Promises. Okay, so here you go. Broken Promises. A scorpion. Broken Promises. Scorpion. Broken Promises. Let's see what this one says. Look what this one says. Words mean nothing and promises are never kept. That's Lucifer making fun of you because you got turned into a race of scorpions. You became their food source and their energy source to create them. That's why that's on that clothing line. Okay, now there's a clothing line that came out. It's called 400. Okay, now I had to pray about this one, folks. 400. Now, it's done by these rappers, and I have friends that are black that, have a different inflection when they speak, text and, hey, how y'all doing, redneck? Whatever, some people have different inflections when they speak. And it's kind of a play on that inflection. 400, 400, like 400. That's what a lot of people think it is, but that's not what it is. No, that's not what it is. Let me show you what it is. Okay, so you see the angel up there? You see that angel right there? They have an angel. Okay, let's look at it. Hunted for, and then spell it backwards. Dinner. Hunted for dinner. Oh, because angels are hunted for dinner. This is at Zoomies. You can go to Zoomies and buy it. Okay, now I'll just prove it out now. Watch this. So there's 400. Okay, so it's hunted is hunted, hunted, hunted for, and then spell it backwards, dinner. Dinnuh, dinner. Hunted for dinner. That's what it is, hunted for dinner. Now let me just show you what's on the back of one of these hunted for dinner shirts. Here's the back of one of these hunted for dinner shirts. There's the back of it. And why is it a scorpion stinger? See the bulbous tail with the stinger? See the segmented tail? Oh, you mean just like that. Just like that. Hunted for dinner. This says stay dangerous. And look at that. That's a scorpion stinger. So I don't know if you understand how profound what you're looking at right now is. That's some human being or part human wearing a shirt with a scorpion tail from the Scorpion Tales from the Pit that says hunted for dinner with a scorpion stinger walking around right in front of everybody. Just think about that. That consciousness has taken over the above ground population. What do you think you're seeing going on worldwide? What do you think all this is? All these countries gone mad. The United States totally divided because it's time. Any kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and a house divided cannot stand. Wow, hunted for dinner. And look at that, stay dangerous. Scorpion stinger. You can't make this stuff up, folks. You cannot even think this stuff up. Here, let me show you another ad at like the Foot Locker. Okay, here you go. Dare to alter your path. That's written backwards. Alter. Dare to alter your path. See, because they know that race turns everything upside down and backwards. They're just in your face now. They just don't care because they know they got you. They know you're trapped in their system. What are you going to do? What are you going to do about it? What can you do? Christ is the only thing you can do. Get converted. That's the only thing you can do. And hopefully those of y'all that are converted and know Jesus is coming to take the bride, that's called the bride of Christ. That's why the Lord had me write Revelation 3:10 on the first container, and it ended up in Grand Junction, representing Christ coming to get us at the Grand Junction, the great meeting place, and that's his everlasting covenant of peace with us. Why do you think Revelation 3:10 is written on a container that's in Grand Junction at the corner of Rainbow and Casimir? You think that's an accident? It's like an Old Testament story, folks. There's no faking this. And so, yeah, it's a fact. So, dare to alter your path. Hunted for dinner. Here's another clothing line. It's not a new clothing line. It's just one of their new shirts. You know, like the kids these days, one of their cool little things in their nomenclature is, hey, that's lit, or that's dope, right? They go, oh man, that's lit. Well, let me show you their little clothing thing. Huff. Okay, you see the triangle? You see what's in it? Keeping the underground lit. You know, like the locust in the pit. Keeping the underground lit. That's their source of energy. And we're trapped in the middle, see? and they're keeping the underground lit with those of us that got trapped in the triangle. That's why there's this upside down triangle in the middle, and it's trapped within this big triangle. Get it? That's the trap. Yep, keeping the underground lit. Let's look at the Scorpions album. You know, my name's Klaus Meine with the Scorpions. Those guys are super cool. Scorpions, Virgin Killer, nice. What kind of a freak would put that on an album? Okay, here's another one. Scorpion, Deadly Sting, the Mercury Years. I mean, you know, but if you know about the female host body was used to create a big race of scorpions, all of a sudden this album cover makes sense. If you don't know what's going on, it makes no sense whatsoever. Like, what's with the naked chick in front of with all the scorpions? Is she just not all there or what? No, it's a manifestation of the bait they use as the bait. There's the naked female, there's the bait to make all the baby scorpions. There you go, from the pit. Now it makes sense, and Klaus Miner and the Scorpions, they're sold out. Savage Amusement. Okay, here we go. So there's another scorpion. Oh, look. It's another hot female, and her leg turns into a scorpion stinger. You know, like Hunted for Dinner or Keep the Underground Lit. Yeah, this is all manifesting to a point to where no one can argue with it anymore, can they? Scorpions in trance. Okay, well, well, it's in trance, like you're in a trance because everyone is in a trance until you arise out of sleep or wake up from the dead. But look, in trance, like this woman is acting like she is being penetrated in sexual intercourse. Entrance. See, this is the inference there, and that's why they have the guitar neck of the guitar sticking out. Scorpions in trance, entrance. That's what you put. This is what puts you in a trance. Do you get it? It's so obvious now. I mean, otherwise, would that make any sense at all? Scorpions, alienation. Scorpions, eye to eye, one forward, one backwards. I mean, look, just look. Scorpions, eye, and then there's the twin towers, the twin system, to eye, one going one way, one going another way. There you go. I mean, you know, you can't even think this stuff up. But now everything makes sense, doesn't it? Look at Van Halen. Balance, huh? This one's trapped with this one that's ruling the show. This one can't get away. Trapped. One's trapped to the other. Yep. Okay, so anyway, let me just rifle through this real quick. You know, you just go look at some popular bands, like go look at Tool. There's a hendecagram. Well, that's a Kelipot. You know, it's the same thing as the Statue of Liberty. It's just minus two of the triangles. There's Tool. Something hatching from inside. Let's see. There you go. Tool, a wrench that makes a penis and testicles. Here's a good representation of one of God's angels. So that's the head, arm, leg, leg. And if you turn it upside down, it's the Church of Satan. Let me show you H.R. Geiger, who did all this costumes for the Alien movie. Here you go. Here's H.R. Geiger. Here's Baphomet, and it's the female reproductive system. And look, here's an upside down ovary star, and here's a right side up. That's the system, and that's what's born into the system. And H.R. Geiger was heavily into the occult. Just go type in Google Images H.R. Geiger and Debbie Harry. Yeah, you know Debbie Harry, who goes to parties with Marina Abramovic, and they make cakes of themselves and eat them, self-cannibalization, because they're giving themselves over to it. There you go. So everything again is perfect. All the data is perfect. There's no arguing with the data. And this is a representation of the all-seeing eye opening up and what opened it up. So there's the all-seeing eye open up, which is in every human being. It's the other. What opened it up? Look right there in the middle. Is that a guy's nose? Is that between his eyes, or is that penetration? What is that? Well, it's both. That's what it is. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is let me just scan very quickly. I accidentally hit the back button. Let's see. Well, I'm going to scan very quickly through this thing, make sure there's nothing else that you really need to see. There's Johnny Depp and Marilyn Manson. There's Drake. Drake's got his scorpion, because he serves it. There's a Drake concert with a giant scorpion coming out of the box because they know. There's Lady Gaga winking her eye. And then she is, part of her is a male scorpion. They know. They're given over to it. There's Hillary Clinton with the W and the M together, right side up, upside down. This is a fascinating image right here. Dos Equis, two X chromosomes. Okay, so what you're looking at right here behind him, that's not really a painting. That's a sheep. There's the eye, there's the eye, there's the ear, there's the ear. There's the eye, ear, and this is the nose of the sheep right here. That's all the head of a sheep. And then Dos Equis, two female chromosomes, XX, and he's caught in the middle. He thinks he's cool, but he's really food. But look what the nose of the sheep turns into, a female lioness. There you go, because that's the truth. That's what it is. There you go. Anyway, and this stuff just goes on and on. There's no end to it. I could literally do this for 24 hours straight. There's so much of it. Okay, so anyway, I'm just going to leave it with that. Let's go back to the top of this folder and let's remember. Okay, well, you know what? Let me show you something that's coming real quick. I'll just wrap it up on this. Remember the $10 bill? That's part of the prophetic utterance the Lord gave me in 2008. Behold, the hand of the oppressor has been lifted against you, and out of the sea shall come fire and smoke, a devouring wind. Water as high as the walls of Jerusalem will cover the city by the sea. There it is, printed on your $10 bill. There it is. Okay, there's the prophetic utterance. There's a tidal wave coming over a 7-story building. Here's the reflection of the building in the water. Right here, someone did a really nice job of just enhancing it so you could see this is this. Now let me show you some covers from Time magazine that have come out, and so y'all know what's coming. Here's John Podesta, aka Rat, part of the evil rat gang. John Podesta, pedophile. John Podesta goes to parties with Marina Abramovic and Bill Clinton. Here they are standing in front of this giant wave portrait. You'll never guess who they're visiting. They're visiting Kim Jong-il. That's Kim Jong-un's father. So there's Podesta and Clinton. Podesta and Bill Clinton sitting in front of Kim Jong-il with this roaring sea behind them. And then let me show you the Time magazines that are coming out, that have come out. Here's one of them. It says, in deep. Remember, Trump has Trump Towers in New York. Look at that. So, in deep. So, the White House is underwater. That's supposed to be Donald Trump. And then let me show you a couple other covers that, if you type into Google Images, show the whole story. And then I'll show you Rifleman Magazine. There you go. Nothing to see here. And then it says stormy like Stormy Daniels. And then the water rising. It says in deep like underwater, because that's what's coming for New York. That's a no-brainer. It will happen. It will be the kickoff event to get everything started for the end of the world. And then here's the new Rifleman magazine that just came out. Now, before I show you this, I want to be very clear about something. I do not pick dates, okay? We know it's coming. It's any moment. Any moment the end is coming. Jesus is going to grab the church. The event that's kicking it all off is going to happen. Those that are in Christ and ready to go will leave. Those that aren't in Christ will stay for the time of the female rival, the Great Tribulation. But there still is a way to get back home. You have to be willing to die and give your life up for Christ. You have to repent of your sins and say you'd rather die than take the mark. And, there's going to be a lot of people that make it back during the Great Tribulation. So if you get stuck, don't despair. There's still a way to get home. Okay, so here we go. Now, I'm not going to pick any dates, but this is the new Rifleman magazine, and I find it fascinating. That's what's in the shipping container that went to Grand Junction. Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, Dianne Feinstein, Michael Bloomberg, Maxine Waters, Elizabeth Warren, Andrew Cuomo, George Soros. Your vote is all that prevents the socialist wave on 11/6. Wow, if you turn that upside down and backwards, what is it? 9/11. I find that to be very odd. So, we are only 2 weeks, we're like a little more than 2 weeks out from, the midterms. Well, if the Democrats lose the midterms, they're going to lose their minds because demos is demon in Latin and kratos is a fishing basket. Democrat, if you go break it down and you look at demos and kratos, it means demon fishing basket. And don't you think Nancy Pelosi's demonic? Maxine Waters is demonic. Chuck Schumer is demonic. George Soros is demonic. They're all demonic. They're evil people. They're consummate liars. They'll lie, cheat. They'll do nothing. They'll stop at nothing to keep power. So, we have this election coming up. I just don't believe that things are going to go too much further, if you know what I'm saying. Okay, so there you go. Now, this is a precursor to part 5. Part 5 is going to just unhinge everyone. I hope this precursor unhinged you. Did you see the labia, the mouth of the dragonfly? You're going to see so many different insect connections on the next video. You're just going to roll your eyes and you're going to go, there's no doubt Jonathan's been right all along. Pray for each other now. It's time to pray for each other. It's time to ask God for forgiveness. Any sin you might have, even if you're not sure if you're sinning, just like David said, forgive me for any sin, even unknown to me, even if there's something you're doing that you may not even know. Maybe something you're taking for granted. Just ask God to forgive you and to cleanse you from all unrighteousness, and that you're willing to lay down your life for the truth. For the truth. Because Jesus is the truth. He's the spirit of all truth. What do you think happened to me? I wanted to know the truth, and boy, did I get it. All glory to the Most High, the Lord God. All glory to Yeshua, the Lord God, in the flesh. Amen. Okay, guys. Yeah, and I'm sorry about, being absent for 3 days and stuff. Y'all have no clue what I've been struggling with so many computers. And it looks like this one may be doing the same thing now. I think they're getting me through the updates or something. We'll see. I'll figure it out. All right, guys, God bless. Take care. Oh, wait, stop. Time out. We do need your help. I forgot. There's a lot going on right now. We've got people that were in Florida. We're trying to help. We already did help. And other people that needed help. And right now, guys, I'm going to show you my channel. If y'all can support the ministry, please, right here, look, PayPal, jk@jonathankleck.com. Or you can send it to our P.O. box. And look, guys, we really need some help right now. P.O. Box 91281, San Antonio, Texas 78209. Okay, so you can, this is our PO box, and when I say our, I mean mine. PO Box 91281, San Antonio, Texas 78209, and PayPal jk@jonathankleck.com. Now, guys, remember, I don't ask very often, but when I ask because there's a need. There's a need. So please, please step up and help out because I'm overloaded mentally, emotionally. I can't handle trying to help all kinds of people that need help as well and saying, we just can't help you, and or stepping out in faith and sending money that's barely available. It makes it kind of like too much pressure. So anyway, if you can help out, please help out. And here's the other thing, please. If you're on a fixed income or if you're on like really tight, please don't do it. Okay, God, I've had people that are like on very small incomes and I appreciate the two mites, but sometimes people will send more than they should. And I'm like, don't do that. Just if you're okay sending with what you're sending, that's fine. But don't put yourself in a bad position. Never do that for us, please. God will always take care of this ministry because it's His. This is His ministry. So, if you want to be part of the last container thing, you want to help out with it, help out with it. We need a little bit of help. I got guys coming over today. We're doing the electrical. So, it's time to go home. Yes, I know it is. Look at all these bugs. It's so crazy. Now let's just talk. I mean, can you guys believe all this bug stuff? I mean, it's like, I was like, it's so depressing. It's like, part of it's depressing, you got to admit. But then the other part is, it's a double-edged sword. It's like it's like, yes. And then it's like, this is horrible. I used to be such a, I'm looking for the right word. I used to just admire the female body. I mean, I'm serious. I was just like, that is amazing. Different, I was just like, wow. Had a lot of different girlfriends. I was just always amazed at the female body. Now I'm really amazed, not in a good way. I'm like, It's like what a twist. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, it's just fascinating. But on the next video, what we're going to look at is we're going to look at all these girls that have all these tattoos that just don't make any sense, and these altars, bugs and more bugs. But they're hidden in plain sight. That's the key. Hunted for dinner. Yeah, so crazy. Let's make that the last thing you see, huh? Let's make hunted for dinner the last thing you see on this video. I want you just to think about that. I want to wrap it up with that. There you go. Here we go. There it is. Angel, hunted for dinner. Hunted for dinner. And on the back it's stay dangerous. And it's, look at that, a scorpion tail right here. Look at that. Let's enlarge it. That's just insane. I mean, some people say, quit using the word insane. Well, give me another word. I mean, that's insane. Look at that. There it is. There it is. Oh my gosh. Hunted for dinner. And see the way they wrote it. 400. Oh my gosh. That's just nuts. Anyway, it is what it is, but it's all the truth, and the truth will set you free. God bless you guys. All right.